We're live now.
We are live.
Yep. So welcome everybody to Baddies Talk Back. We wanted to come on here and kind of just see what's going on with everybody. We know that the new year has started. People have started getting acclimated with things that they are planning for the new year. So and then of course it is Black History Month. So we wanted to talk to some of our baddies in the African American community just to kind of catch up and see what's going on. But everybody, you are welcome to chit chat with us. We hope that we want to make this as interactive as we can. So I just want to tell you a little bit about myself. My name is Brittany Church. I am a baddie ambassador. I live in Cleveland, Ohio. I am married with one daughter. Her name is Harley. I was diagnosed in 2019 with hormonal positive breast cancer, HER2 negative breast cancer, stage 1B. I did do chemotherapy and I am on Lupron and letrozole. And I also do a ton of other alternative things. I have a sauna, I take vitamins, I do a lot of fun things. I'm always reading and researching. So yeah, that's a little bit about me. What about yourself, Katrina? And we do have some other people joining us. They'll be popping in really soon. But Katrina.
Absolutely. So, thank you so much for having me. My name is Katrina Marcel. I was diagnosed in June of 2021 at the age of 37. I do have a gene disposition. I was diagnosed with triple negative breast cancer, stage 3B. So for myself, I did go through 16 rounds of chemotherapy, 30 rounds of radiation. I did have 11 sessions of immunotherapy. Unfortunately, I had to stop immunotherapy because it gave me an acute pancreatitis.
Mhm.
I also, what else? I had a double mastectomy. Oh my gosh, so much.
Yeah, I know.
Expanders, implants,
Yes.
you name it, it's been there,
I
right?
forgot to mention that. Yes, I had an expander and then COVID happened. So I had an expander for 2.5 years. Yes.
Oh my
The
gosh.
day my last chemotherapy was March 10th and COVID, everything kind of shut down like March 12th. I know the schools up here shut down. And so yeah, that I forgot to
Okay.
even mention the
Look,
the
we got to mention
expander.
everything. It's what we've been through. It's the journey.
Yeah.
So yeah, all of those things, right? So same as you, Brittany. I try to do things different and research as much as possible. I
Mhm.
have a sauna as well. I
Mhm.
exercise at least 3 to 4 times a week. I'm doing all of these things that I could try to find holistically and non
Mhm.
holistically, and just making sure I take care of me and give myself that grace. Hi, Ebony.
Hi,
There you
Ebony.
go.
Thank you for showing. You look beautiful
I was
with
coming.
the
I was coming.
hair.
I was like, oh my gosh, let me hurry up and get on here with
Well,
you guys.
we were kind of just talking about, what we do, what we were diagnosed with when, and kind of some of our treatments that we have gone through, that we're still doing, and kind of the things that we're doing alongside treatments. So if you want to just kind of have Katrina, were you done, honey? I'm sorry.
Yeah, oh no, you're fine. Yeah, so just the basics and living life and trying to
Mhm.
live as a survivor should. Let me
Mhm.
say that's my little spill, trying to live as a survivor should these days, because it's hard, right? We're different. I always say this is Katrina 2.0,
Mhm.
because the
Mhm.
1.0, she's changed.
Mhm. Yep.
Yeah.
Agreed.
That is a that now I can attest to that because I am
Mhm.
definitely. I feel like I'm on Ebony 4.0 at this point.
Oh, looking good. You look good. That hair,
You
honey,
look
is
beautiful.
is
Thank you,
beautiful.
thank you, thank
So
you
you
so
want to
much.
tell us a little bit about yourself and.
Yes, my name is Ebony, and I am one of the metastatic baddies from for the Best of Us, which I should say for the best of us because we are the best. I was diagnosed with stage 4 coming out the gate in 2000 December 28th, 2018. I have definitely had some highs. I've definitely had some lows, but I am still here.
Mhm.
Um, it when it metastasized to both of my lungs,
Mhm.
my bones, um, lungs, part of the pancreas, and my spine.
Mhm.
Right now, it is kind of back in the lungs. That's why I got my trusty sidekick that I be trying to, bling out and things
Mhm.
because. But I've been on it. I've been off it, on it again, and off of it again. So hopefully, I'll be off of my little trusty sidekick. I needed it last night watching Usher on the Super Bowl. I was like, turn it up. I need to breathe,
Me too.
Lord.
Mhm.
But yeah, I've felt like I've done every treatment under the sun. I have done I don't know if you got light therapy.
Mm-mm.
I've
I'm not
done
Red
talking
light
light.
about
therapy.
therapy.
So it's infrared therapy
Mhm.
that was so supposedly cancer can't live under a certain colored light.
Mhm.
And so there's this infrared sauna here where I live in California,
Mhm.
where when you sit up under it's a sauna, you go, you relax or whatever. But it's this red UV light, infrared
Oh.
light that you sit under and it helps kill the cells.
Mhm.
Now, how much it actually worked, I don't know, but I do know that when I was doing it, it was cutting my numbers significantly in addition with the treatment that I was taking. And
Mhm.
the doctor kept saying it was the treatment, but when I stopped the infrared, granted the numbers was going down. However, it wasn't going down as much. But of course, those treatments do cost an arm and a leg. How I was gifted those treatments. I
Mhm.
do have like three or four more that I have, but yeah, it's called infrared light therapy.
Okay. All right. I think I've heard of. I don't know if I know it as light therapy, but I have heard of people using the infrared and getting like those lamps and utilizing that. So that's interesting
Hmm.
to know. And Unique has joined us. Unique, we were just kind of talking about where we are, how we started with the journey. Um, so yeah, if you want to introduce yourself.
Hi, ladies.
Hi.
Um, yeah, so I was diagnosed February of last year, and it's been a journey. So I, ever since I've been diagnosed, I'm always willing to share information and knowledge where I can. So happy to be here and answer any questions you need.
All right, so we are. I asked to bring Baddies to Baddie back because I do a lot of work in the group, and I think that sometimes people need a sounding board. They have questions, and so I was hoping that us doing a live, we will have some people drop in. I haven't seen anybody on yet. I think I'm gonna share in the group like, hey, I did post today about coming in, that we were going to be doing this. But however, we do have a few viewers. We don't have any questions yet. But so I just wanted to kind of talk about us as Black women because it is Black History Month. So, we are for women of color, but this month we are focusing on African American women. And so, as a Black woman, what has helped you navigate survivorship? Um, and I know Ebony, you are still you're thriving, and I consider myself a thriver too,
Yes.
because this never goes away. This is with us forever.
Yeah, it's with us forever. It's I tell her it's my little broke. You know how they say your kids are your
Mhm.
little broke best friend. I was like, oh no, this is like the pain in my side, little broke best friend. Because it continues. It continues to try to break me, but God.
Mhm.
But as a black woman, I think joining groups and
Mhm.
seeing other Black women who have been in or thriving, have been thriving for 10 years, for 20 years,
Mhm.
for multiple years beyond where I am. Because we always hear about, especially in our community, we always hear about those who are passing away,
Mhm.
you know. And it's a very sad thing, and it's a reality hit that this is a disease that can take you out.
Mhm.
However, when you see that other woman who has walked the same road as you, have walked the same steps as you, but yet she's still continuing and she's still fighting. And she lets you know, girl, yes, you are going to have some bad days.
Mhm.
Yes, you are going to have some not so good days. But guess what? You're still here. You're still here with strength to fight another day. And so for me to have those examples and for me to remember that there's also somebody looking at me, so
Mhm.
like being there in the middle, like even though I have far to go and I have this example in front of me, when I look back, I also have other ladies that's like me
Mhm.
and people who are going to join this journey, unfortunately, who's going to look at me and be like, well, if Ebony can do it, then I can too. So that has helped because I know when I first got diagnosed, all I saw was white women.
Yeah.
That's all and I joined groups and all I seen was negativity, and a lot of them were very negative, and a lot of them were, and I was like, y'all don't even look like me.
Mhm.
So I felt a disconnect.
Mhm.
There was no I just didn't see myself other than we all had breast cancer. I didn't
Mhm.
see a connection anywhere.
Mhm.
So it was hard in the beginning for me to be like, to like kind of go through the motions. But when I saw somebody that looked like me,
Mhm. That
I
was.
was like, okay. And then when I saw more women that look like me, I was like, oh, it's more than just two or three of us. It's a whole world of us. So
Mhm.
that was definitely a plus because, they always say representation matters, and it really, really, really does.
Yeah, I agree. Katrina, how are you in this space? How are you surviving, thriving?
So I would say that I'm thriving hour by hour, to be honest.
Mhm.
Because every hour it could be something new. I can share with me recently. I just learned that I have thyroid issues now.
Mhm.
Never had thyroid issues in my life. Now I'm
Mhm.
on medication for thyroids. What? Who? What? Like, it's just all these things. So hour by hour for me, really, because I can feel a pain here, I can feel a pain there, and I get nervous. Like,
Mhm.
what is that?
Mhm.
And I have my upcoming 3 month checkup this Friday, and I lie not, every week up until that appointment, everything just starts hurting.
Mhm.
And my
Mhm.
anxiety is like, what? And it's like, oh my gosh, is it something? Am I really
Mhm.
feeling something? Or what's messing? Is something messing with me? So for me, it's thriving hour by hour.
Mhm.
Trying to be, like Ebony said, being that representation for us because we do need it. And I can completely respond to what you're saying. Far as being in that chair, I saw nobody that looked like me.
Mhm.
And
Yep.
it's like, is this just for me to have this disease, or where are we? Not that I want us to have it at all, because I don't, but unfortunately we will, some of us will get it, like us
Mhm.
sisters, because that's what we
Right.
are. And so for me, it's just hour by hour, and it's hard to talk to family
I know.
because they don't get it.
Mhm.
So for me, it's hour by hour, finding that inspiration and just doing what I know that I can do for myself and
Mhm.
trying to be there for others. Because I recently did lose a friend.
Mhm.
So it's hard. That
Mhm.
kind of that did set me back into being like mild depressed, and I
Oh yeah,
didn't realize it.
survivor
So
is real.
it's real.
Oh
It's
yeah.
real. And I think it's just like, it's all sense of the word. Someone can say surviving, it just means surviving a job or surviving this or that, but it's really surviving life. And I think that a lot of people don't understand that.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Yep. And Unique, you actually just shared a YouTube video, and one of your first things were that you were looking for somebody, out there, and that looked like you. And I just want to say something really quick about Unique and I. We went to middle school together, so we were connected, and then we had started a business venture together. But as I think about it, it was really weird how we came together and when we did. And so, when Unique had called me, that was not what I was expecting to hear from her. I thought she was trying to sell me insurance because she does all of these things. And I'm like, girl, I already got insurance. I don't need more insurance. And she's like, no. She's laughing. But yeah, you need to go ahead and talk about, how you, what you were looking for and how you are currently in the midst of as you're celebrating your cancerversary too.
Yes, so I literally just launched my YouTube channel today, and I agree there wasn't a lot of women when I was first diagnosed that I was just like, I am a person just always looking for information. So that's what I just started doing naturally. And I think that's because it's just such a traumatizing experience. We don't naturally want to talk about it, right? So it's like us reliving that day over and over again, and nobody really wants to do it, right? So we have to get comfortable sharing those stories, and our comfort level is going to be different depending on whoever you talk to. So for me, I just woke up one day and I just started journaling and blogging, and that's what's carrying me through this. And then I talked to Brittany, and then I have another work mom who also she is stage 4. So just connecting with the people that are around you, but I just literally just woke up and just started talking to myself, just blogging. That is getting me through it. So I'm currently still in treatment. So it's still a roller coaster for me. Today I'm having a good day. Tomorrow I can wake up sad. So, but through it all, I think just being connected with Brittany and other people, being able to read. So that's why I was like, you know what? Even though I don't want to talk about it, even though my therapist like, you sure you want to do that? I'm like, yeah, I think so. She's like, you wanna keep talking about that? I'm like, I think so. So it's helping me in a crazy way.
And so for me, for all you ladies, mine was a bit different. Like I did not I couldn't watch anything that had cancer in it. Like I was scared to watch new stuff. I wanted to safeguard the things that I knew. I didn't want anybody talking to me about it. Um, I really wanted to delete all the groups. Like I did delete some of the groups because, like Ebony, you mentioned, sometimes it was filled with a lot of negativity and that type of stuff. Getting your head is not healthy at all. I feel like my first year, I was going back and forth with, am I going to live or am I going to die? Like literally. And I remember when I first, got diagnosed, as many of you looking around for people that look like you. And how I stumbled across For the Best of Us is that I did find an old blog from one of the baddies, Monisha, but it was so random. Like it wasn't on YouTube. It was like Google, and I was just Googling, and I found a blog from her, and I found her on Facebook and reached out to her. And she's the one who was like, this is what I'm doing now. And she was young and things like that. And she's the one who connected me with For the Rest of Us. Like, here, just join this, community. They're fairly new, so they're building their community, but it is a lot of people that listen. It's a whole community out here of young women, and women of color that are going through this. So I couldn't believe how many women was. I thought I was on the island by myself. Like, yeah, I have to be one of 500 million that gets
Mhm.
cancer under this, under 40. And I realized, like, dang, it's a lot of us out here. And so then education, I wanted to educate people, but I wanted to do it the way that I wanted to. But then I would feel bad. Like, is that advocacy? Is that what that looks like? Everybody is out here sharing their blogs. Everybody is YouTube, and everybody has Instagram pages. And it was just too much for me. But I'm like, I still want to share my story some way. And so Marissa, who is the founder, one of the co-founder of For the Rest of Us, she knows to gently, hey Brittany, do you want to do this? And so, um, and now I'm becoming more open, but like me and Unique has, oh, this event is happening around Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and I'm like telling her like, no, I don't support all of that stuff because what is it going to? I don't do all of that. I need to see
Yeah.
exactly what the cause is because we are actually living this. We're walking this every day. I don't have time for people just trying to make an extra few dollars off people emotion. So no,
Yeah.
I don't do that. But I am softly massaging my advocacy, and this is what it looks like to me having conversations with you all. Facebook Live and Instagram Live is it's kind of up here for me, but I'm working on it. I'm working on it. I'm looking at you all. I'm not looking at the crowd. So um, that works for me. And I know that what I did learn is that advocacy looks different for everybody. You may be doing your YouTube, your blog. I know Ebony, you have your Instagram, you hustling heels, and I love watching you get dressed up every day. Unique is, you doing that. And Katrina, I haven't connected with you, but I will.
Yes.
And me, I am in the back watching. You can always call me, but I'm in the back watching.
Yeah.
I don't have it. And what I'll tell Marissa a lot too is that my Facebook is that's where I do advocacy at, and my Instagram is kind of mine. So I watch and I connect with people, but that's how I safeguard my mental health, and that's how I feel like I'm walking through survivorship, having control of something. Yeah,
Yeah.
That's good.
yeah,
That's real good. And I liked what you said about how being more selective
hmm
in telling people where to put their money.
hmm
I think that's
hmm
a form of advocacy that I don't think we really um, see as important, but it is.
Oh, absolutely.
Because well, I was initially misdiagnosed.
hmm
And then by the time, of course, I found out, I was already at stage 4. But prior to that, the only thing I knew for real about breast cancer, because I have no family history of it, I am the first one. Um, all I knew is that you celebrated in October and you wore pink. That's all that's all I really knew. And then like a coworker of mine, her mom had it, and that's all I knew. I knew nothing about different stages. I didn't know
hmm
anything about different types. They'd be like, hey, we're collecting money. Would you like to? It's going to go to, Susan G. Komen, or it's going to go to the American Cancer Center. Well, it's going to go to all of these places. And then when you get it and you're calling these places, they're like, we can't help you.
hmm
We can't help you. Oh, call this
Yeah.
place. And they give you the 360, and you're already trying to process what you're going through.
Yep.
You're looking for and it don't even have to be financial, but I'm looking for some kind of resource or something. And I don't think people really realize like the roundabout time that you have to go through trying to find one solidified resource that is going to really help you. And it's really, when you look down really deep down to it, it's the little groups, like, For the Rest of Us, or like a Tiger Lily, or like some
hmm
of these local, like the smaller names that really don't get any recognition. And
Right.
those are the places that could use other people's donations. I get research, but what better research would it be to help a mom, or a woman who needs to get her medicine, but her insurance isn't paying for it,
hmm
or trying to help her get a ride to the doctor instead of her taking a 2-hour bus ride. Like, and I don't think people really realize that, especially in our community. They're just like, oh, well, it's not going to happen to me. It can't happen to me. Like, we don't have any family history. We good. Baby, it can happen to anybody.
hmm
And you
Yeah.
really
I
need to,
That's the
definitely
like,
agree.
biggest.
yeah.
I think that's where we lack the education part,
Education.
because I
Yep.
think now I think more and more of us are talking about it. So,
Yeah.
but previous to me being diagnosed, I didn't necessarily think it wouldn't happen to me. I just didn't understand the dynamics of, or what it could take. I didn't know it could literally just be random. Like, girl, it could be you tomorrow.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Same, same.
Same. Yeah.
I know, Katrina, you had shared early on that you were, you have a gene that you had predisposition for it. But
I
again,
found
but
out
for
when I
me,
was diagnosed.
yep, for
Do a
me,
blood test. Didn't
anybody
you
in
know
your
that's an option?
family, nobody in your family had it that you were.
So my dad, so my mom's side, all the women got tested.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody was negative. My dad was adopted, and my dad is deceased. So I
Mm.
had to go on a roller coaster to
Wow.
find family members, to get someone to talk to me.
Mm-hmm.
I did. I do have an aunt, and so she helped me a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So found out at the time when I was diagnosed that I had a cousin who was currently in treatment, and an aunt who I've never met before was currently in treatment.
Wow.
Wow.
So then you add me, that's number three. But since then, in that bloodline, now it's been two other women. So it's just that that communication wasn't there.
Right.
Even though my dad was adopted, my grandmother knew of his mom. His biological mom passed away at 36 with breast cancer, and I was diagnosed at 37, and I
Oh
was the
wow.
Wow.
firstborn. So now my sister knows that she also has this
Everything.
gene.
Okay.
Yep. And so now she's doing the preventives that she needs, which if I had to be the vessel, if you know me, I always say it. If I had to be the vessel for my sister, I'm proud to be,
All right.
Right.
because I don't want anything to happen to her, especially not this. I don't want her to have this experience.
Mm-hmm. And we did have a question from Facebook. They kind of somebody from Facebook wanted to know where we were located. So I am in Cleveland, Ohio.
I am in Woodland Hills, California, so like outskirts of LA.
Mhm.
I'm in Dallas, Texas.
And I'm in Ohio too.
Okay. And you guys are already kind of segmenting to my next question, which is, we all kind of know the stats, and a lot of people talk about how Black women are 40% more likely to die from breast cancer than our white counterparts. But what do you wish more people understood about Black women and breast cancer?
That we matter.
Yeah.
That we matter.
That
That
we're
we
different.
matter. We are different, and each one of us are different, and we aren't like our white counterparts. We are different. Our matter, our makeup, yeah, we bleed the same, but our makeup is different, and that our voices should be heard and need to be heard just like theirs, just how you would give them a chance to live. We want to live too, because guess what? We are wives, we are girlfriends, we are daughters, we are mothers, we are friends, we are sisters. We want to live too. And I think my passion from that is because I was misdiagnosed. And when I was misdiagnosed, the doctor told me because I was young and black, I had nothing to worry about.
How old were you
Then
when you were diagnosed?
I was misdiagnosed at 35. I found out at 37. And I was
Yep.
like, if only you would have called it then, would I have had been here? And the I've had to fight more for my voice to be heard than anything else. So I am very aggressive when they was
Mhm.
like, "Oh, Black
Oh, I'm
women
very
vote,"
aggressive.
Me too.
I
Yeah.
and I
went to three
have to be
hospitals,
aggressive
three
when I
hospitals
go
in a
in
year.
because I've had to the last hospital visit I went to, they were just like, "Oh yeah, no, you'll be fine." I said, "No, I won't. These are my numbers." And like my oldest daughter, she goes to a lot of my appointments and stuff with me. So she knows a lot of my history. And so I noticed they wasn't listening to her. Well, I'm over here sick in the bed, but Mama Bear's rising up. But it's just like you're not even listening to her, and you're not listening to me as a patient. The doctor told me basically that I didn't know what I was talking about. And I was like, last time I checked, I was the one that lived in his body. I was the one who has to deal with this every day. You don't know what you're talking about. And so he got mad at me, but I really don't care.
Hmm.
But
You gotta be in this
because
space. You gotta be an advocate. Yep.
you
For
have
yourself.
to be an advocate for yourself over small things, over
Oh,
medicines. This medicine is making me sick. Oh, no, you'll be fine. No, I'm telling you that this medicine is making me sick. Maybe it's too strong. Maybe you need to do something else. Like clinical trials. Why are we still fighting to be a part of clinical trials or even to be asked when you got a whole slew of people who and it's like when you bring it up they want to know like well how did you get that, how did you get that
Okay.
information, like it's a secret. It shouldn't be a
yep.
secret to live.
Hmm.
Right. Yep.
So if
Yep.
anything that we matter, we shouldn't have to. We're already fighting to live against a disease that doesn't want us to.
Yep.
Why am I having to fight now against the people that's supposed to be helping me?
Hmm. Yep.
So just if anything, we do want to live. We not just out here being angry black women. We actually really want to live. Like we want to be happy too.
Yep.
So listen
Yep.
to us. Our voices matter too.
I agree. I definitely agree. I had to switch 3 doctors when I was first diagnosed, just because I was feeling dismissed. And yeah,
Yeah.
I'm on my way out the door right now. Somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
I do think that we have to be good advocates, and some people need a voice. Some people need that person by them to help them advocate because everybody is not that's not their strong suit. And I do think that
Mm-hmm.
the For the Rest of Us Facebook group, a lot of women do come in there and, they ask questions. And I applaud the women that respond and say, hey, that doesn't sound right. Why don't you go get a second opinion? And what
Mm-hmm.
state are you living in? So it's really, really helpful that people do have a sounding board, especially in
Yep.
the Facebook group where, it's more people that look like you. You have some questions. Is this different? What are you guys doing? So I do like that people get in there and they're now asking questions. The group has grown so much since I
Mm-hmm.
started in there in 2019. So yeah, I think that for me, that is one of the biggest things. Which I, like Ebony said, I agree. We want to be heard. We want to be seen.
Yep.
I
We have to
also
push that.
think that sometimes it may not be just a black thing, it could just be your doctor. So I think that also, like when we get information and we take it to our doctor, if he's not the doctor that's going to help us with what we're looking for, then we just need to go to somebody else. Because
Hmm.
if they're not informed on what we're asking for, then we just got to go to somebody else. So, like for me, for example, I'm convinced that Herceptin was like just bringing my white blood count down, and I kept battling with my doctor over and over about this. Like, yes, it could have been the Taxol, but now I'm still struggling with it, and it was even giving me headaches. And he was just like, his favorite line was, "That's so rare." Well, I'm not tripping, so I'm listening to my body.
Right.
So I know
Right.
it's like just listening to your body. I know how I'm feeling, whether I'm a rare case or not. I'm listening to my body. This isn't working for me because
And this is rare that we have it. So
Right.
yeah,
Right.
Yeah.
we are definitely beating the odds at this.
he's talking to 20 people a day, oh, every day. Everybody else good with it, but I'm not, doc. So we need to change it up, lower my dose. What we
Exactly.
gonna do?
And one of our Facebook viewers said it's so draining. And I know we have a lot of nurses that's in the group too. I know we have one nurse that works in oncology and she's a breast cancer thriver. So it's like
Mm-hmm.
I am advocating for them all while I'm trying to advocate for myself as well. Yeah, Katrina, you have something to add?
Yeah, it's just like too, like for me, going into this doctor's office and you're prescribing this medicine, and it goes back to what we're all saying, like we're different. Don't think that just because you give me this medicine and it worked for our white counterparts that it's going to work on me, because it can give side effects. Because I also had a medication, Limparza. It gave me headaches, and I'm like, I can't take it. I can't do it. Just lower the dose, break it in half. I did all that. It doesn't work. So listen to me. Like give me an alternative, or let's try something different. And so it just matters that they can't always. I don't like when physicians and oncologists think that just because they prescribe a medicine, we're supposed to take it because they say so. Like if
Right.
it impacts my body, it impacts my body. Have you ever had cancer? That is always my question back. Have you
Mm-hmm.
had cancer? Have
Mm-hmm.
you taken chemo? Have you taken Limparza? And when they say
Mhm.
no, it okay. So don't come tell me what it shouldn't
What I
do when
feel.
you don't know what it can do because you've never
Mhm.
taken it. So it's really being that voice. I'm aggressive too. I go in with my notepad, my pen, and you can't
Yeah.
talk until I'm finished. It's
Yeah.
been that way for day one.
And we got someone, Linda, that is absolutely crazy.
Yeah,
That her doctor told her that she could not. Women of Jewish descent are most likely to have the BRCA mutation. That is the first. I've never heard that before, but
Ever.
I'm glad that you were able to advocate for yourself right in that moment and rephrase what he was saying, and then clearly he got you to test that day. Um,
That's crazy. Why
yeah,
would you
my
want?
doctor. When I
Why would you
initially
want
found the
somebody to have the test? Like, why wouldn't you want them to test to make sure they don't have the gene that could possibly be passed down? Like, that doesn't make any sense to me.
I don't understand why they fight back for any test that I'm asking my insurance to pay for. I it's still to me.
It's
I
not
still
coming
have
out of
no
their
understanding.
pocket.
I have no understanding.
Well, my doctor, not my doctor, but one of the nurses had told me that a lot of times that they give us pushback because we're already under a lot of stress. So they just don't want you overwhelming yourself with tests and all of this other stuff that's not going to impact your treatment. So
Hmm.
they want you to just go through their treatment plan and not be stressed out, allegedly. That's why they don't want, when we come, hey, I want this, even if they can give it, they reject it initially because they just feel like it's going to just bring us more stress.
I'm like
Yeah, well,
already
I don't
stressed.
really want anybody thinking for me, so just do what I ask you to do, and I mean that's
Yeah,
simple.
absolutely.
I
I'm
mean,
already
I don't
stressed. You
have
keep
to
calling
argue.
me with a diagnosis.
And usually, if I'm coming to you with this test, I've already done my research. Like if I'm coming to you saying, "Hey, what about this?" and you're
Right.
like, "I
I
don't
could be
know."
stressed out not knowing that my results from the test. Like,
Yeah, I had an oncologist who I wanted to get the I can't even think of the name of it, you know, what the test was, but it would tell me like if chemo would be beneficial for me. And she was just like, "No, you don't need the test because you're getting chemo anyway."
Oh,
No, no, I need the test, and I
yeah.
need the test today. No, you're not getting the. We're not
mm-mm.
putting that through your insurance. I said, "Oh, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it." I was at another oncologist the next week, and what
Wow.
did they say? The first step, you should have been getting this test. Exactly. They were calling me, "Hey, you're supposed to start chemo today. I will not be starting anything with you all. Have a good day."
Yeah, I've been through three different oncologists. Three different oncologists. I'm finally with a woman. She's a woman
Mm-hmm.
and she's a woman of color. So she kind of gets it. And so
Archetype. Yep, archetype. Sorry.
yeah, she knows like, hey, and she I think what I like the most about her is because she does listen. She actually listens to what I'm saying. Like, she takes my feelings into consideration, and not like she pacifies me, but she's like, actually listen, like, let's come together to for a treatment that is going to be okay with you, and you're going to be okay, but as well as from a medical standpoint that I feel good giving you.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yep.
so, like, but it took me three other people to before I got to her because the other ones were men. And
Mm-hmm.
well, yeah.
They
But
wasn't understanding.
yeah.
Okay, so our next, and this is one of our last questions because we have been chatting and the conversation is flowing, and I'm glad people are on Facebook and they are interacting with us and commenting. And yes, Tina, Aki type test. That's exactly what it's called. Thank you. But we know some people don't understand the need for safe spaces, right? So and especially to share our experiences. So can you explain? Can either or everybody explain why is it important for Black and Brown women to have spaces like for the rest of us, and how has it helped you? So I'll go first. um, so again, when I first was diagnosed, I went to chemo. I don't recall seeing any Black people there. And definitely not my age. I don't really recall. But I remember thinking, again, I was one needle in a haystack, and how could this happen to me? Um, and why was it happening to me? So when I did find For the Rest of Us, it felt really good because not only as a breast cancer survivor, being black, but being young, that adds a whole nother layer. I mean, you're in the midst of, wanting to expand your family. You're in the midst of a career. So it's still even much different from an older black woman. So I was happy that I found for the rest of us, because I again found people that were my age, people that can understand exactly what I'm going through and why I was contemplating not taking letrozole, because my knees, I feel like I'm 65 years old, like I'm going through the same things my mom is going through, and what am I supposed to do with this? Like, I'm newly married, and I have a 3-year old, just all of that. But I was just grateful to find women that, to see them, number one, give me hope, to see them still thriving, see them still working, and connecting with them in different areas in life. Not even just talking about breast cancer. Breast cancer brought us together, but we talk about many other things. We connect in different cities. I remember flying down to Atlanta to go to a candle workshop or whatever that they were hosting in Atlanta, and I had the time of my life. I went by myself and just connected with them. We went out to eat, we hung out. It was amazing. So I hope we do more of that. I know we're doing more of that, for the rest of us is doing more of that, and I hope that more people could come out. But that's why I do feel like it's great to have the space where we can talk to people that look like us.
Yeah, I
I,
agree. I found the rest of us, and I actually went to an event in Dallas where we made lipstick and lip gloss, and I've always wanted to go to this place and make this stuff. And when the rest of us brought it to Dallas, I was so excited because a lot of the girls that I spoke with, I
Mhm.
actually didn't know some of them were in Dallas.
Mhm.
So to see them in person and
Mhm.
just the hugging, the embracement, just like
mm-hmm,
I've known this woman for years. As you said, breast cancer brought us together, but it felt like that friendship and bond was there. And to do
Mhm.
something fun and to know that there is someone who's going through what you're going through locally, even though I have
Mhm.
all of my girlfriends that I've met who are afar, it's just nice to have a community to be able to talk to someone.
Mhm.
I haven't found a therapist yet that's best for me, but I feel that I have some girlfriends who are in
Mhm.
this group, and it gives me that grace that I need for myself to
mm-hmm.
continue to advocate in ways of myself and for others, and to know that I didn't do anything wrong in my life to get this disease.
Mhm. Yeah.
I
Um,
agree. I think hope is definitely probably the number one thing, because when you're first diagnosed, you literally feel like your life is falling apart, life is over. Am I going to be sick? What am I going to look like? My hair. You just go through all of these traumatic thoughts. And to be able to get on Facebook and read other people's journey, like, okay, well, it might be rough right now, but it gets better later. And I think
Yeah.
that's powerful. So obviously, I was introduced to the group for Brittany, and it's just, I think that God obviously brought us together when He did, because I mean, we hadn't talked for years and years and years and years, and now look at us connected in different ways. I think because everybody around you do not understand what you're going through, right? So
right.
they know that you're sick, they know that you're going through it, but they don't really understand the magnitude that it has over your body, your emotions. So just being able to hear the stories, connect to other people, read other people's journey, it's brought me hope and courage to talk about it.
Yep.
I think for me, and it's kind of piggybacking off what Unique said, it was a group of women that understood me. So, like, I'm the only one of my friends who get the hot flashes because I've been thrown into early menopause. I'm the only one in my house. Like, my son has more hair than I have. Uh, that's like bald from the chemo and like amongst my friends. And I think a lot of people, I try to let them know, like in the beginning, everybody was like, oh my God, I'm here for you, and this and this and this and that. And like I tell them, this is not the flu. I don't have it for like a week or two and then it's over and done with. Like, I'm still in this thing. So, and always having to constantly almost constantly not reassuring people, but giving people updates or explaining. That's what I, not so much as update, but explaining the situation. Where when I my first time meeting everybody, because I met everybody, I had kind of joined the group in like 2020. So of course we had that whole pandemic thing. So I didn't really get to see anybody until when we were in Houston for the sneaker ball, and the love I got and the hugs and the embracing, it was like meeting family that I hadn't seen in a long time. That was my favorite sisters and favorite cousins, and we was laughing and we was joking, and we all had our fans because we was all hot and having hot flashes and sweating, and we had our wigs on, we had our bald heads, but it was just to see somebody that if I was sitting down and a tear was flowing from my eyes, she understood why,
Mhm.
without me somebody saying, "Oh, it's gonna be okay." No, this could be a tear of like, "I'm just glad to be here," type thing, because I don't take any moment that I'm here on earth for granted,
Mhm.
or I didn't ever have to. The whole time I was there, I felt like I never had to explain myself. And I took my oldest daughter, I took her with me, and she was like, "I'm glad you came," and she said, "I'm glad I came with you because I got to see what it was like to be you, but on the other side." Because it's like, even though we go through this, it's almost sometimes in a sea of everybody that's normal, we're on this little island by ourselves,
Mhm.
and it's like it's only us going through it, and people can only empathize with us, but
Mhm.
they're not us. But
Right.
when you get around your girlfriends
Mhm.
who, they know what that is, they know what it's like to draw some eyebrows on.
Mhm. Mhm.
They know what it's like to have that hot flash moment, or girl, like you up and you gotta take 6 pills, and you gotta take you going through an insomnia, or your knees hurt or
I
whatever.
about to say you
They
can't.
get it.
Yeah, gotta be careful with them knees.
They get it. They actually get it. So to be around people, what For the Rest of Us did for me was like, it made me seen and to be understood. And that was something I had been searching for since day one of being diagnosed.
Mhm.
It's being understood. And
Yeah.
so being in that with them, like when I feel like being understood, I'm like, "Y'all, guess what?" And somebody was like, "Yep, yep." I don't have to go into a whole drawn out
Yeah.
story because they understand.
Yeah. Well, you guys, we have been chatting, and it's time for us to wrap it up. But I think my last note is that what I want to say is Black History Month. As Black women, we definitely have to, as women, period, especially going through breast cancer, we definitely have to take care of ourselves. So practicing that self care, whatever that is for you, if that's getting massages, if that's taking a walk, if that's meditating, whatever that looks like, really take some time and do what you need to do for you. Because oftentimes we don't do that as women in general. And so we want to make sure that we do that. And I see a lot of comments in our Facebook. They want to get involved with For the Rest of Us, and so I think it'll be more information. Usually every year, the co-founder Marissa, she does put out a application for people to become breast cancer baddies, and but that doesn't mean that you can't participate. If you don't want to become a baddie, they do. We have started doing things where we're meeting up in cities where there are baddies. So Unique, I have you here now, so we're gonna have us a nice quarterly event, because I didn't do it last year because it was just too much. It was too much for me, but I like when we all can come together, and I'm gonna nudge Marissa to say, hey, let's go to Atlanta or let's go to Cali for a weekend
Yeah,
and
y'all
just
better
get
come on out
together. Right, just to get together, because again, like you said, Katrina, it's nothing like having people around that, know exactly what you're going through. And I mean, you could have only known, like, I just met you. Now I want to connect with you on social media and things like that. It's like when you get together, it doesn't matter. I've talked to you. I feel like I've known you already. Like, I've talked to you for 2 years online. When I see you, it's just an embrace and a hug because I feel like I already know you. We've shared so many intrinsic details and things like that. We are literally sisters. So I do hope to, meet Ebony and Katrina in person because I did miss the sneaker ball. But I'm hoping that we can get together, and then we are doing another Baddie to Baddie. Baddies Talk Back. I'm sorry, not Baddie to Baddie. That's a podcast, but Baddies Talk Back next month. So Facebook, if you are listening, we'll be back next month. I will be dropping a date and the Facebook Live. And if you ladies want to join us again, just let me know. And if you have anything that you want to say to the crowd, that's because they're out there cheering us on. Yes, I'm loving the talking back. I'm loving the listening and giving us the feedback. We have somebody that's in Cali. Um, Ebony, we have somebody that's in
Oh well,
Cali.
we have to connect. We definitely have to
Yes.
connect.
Yep. And I think it's time for us to do another polling for the rest of us. Like, where you at? Usually, somebody drop it like once a year, and they kind of say what state you in, and that's how people start to connect because you don't even know. Like you said, I didn't even know all these people was here in Dallas. So I think it's probably time for another poll of that sort. But
Okay, so wait a minute. Who in Dallas?
Katrina's in Dallas. Okay. Yeah.
I'm planning to come down there, I'm thinking. So I'm
Oh.
going to definitely connect
Yeah,
with
I'll
you.
be
Yes,
there.
let's
I'll be there
connect.
pretty soon. So Katrina, I have to get your information because I'm coming to visit. And I want to say I'll be there in April.
Okay.
So we'll have
Okay.
to
We got
do we'll
Kentucky.
have to do lunch.
Yep. Kentucky. You halfway through Cleveland, so maybe we can meet
Okay.
somewhere in the middle, Tina.
That's not that far. What is it, like 4 hours?
Yeah, that's like right out of Cincinnati for us. So yeah, so thank you guys for coming on, joining. I hope this conversation was helpful for you all and for the group. And I will see you all soon.
Thank you all.
All
Have a good
right. Bye
night.
bye. Have a good night.
Bye.